We're glad to have you out here, regardless of the weather. I've got several calls and emails this morning asking if it was going to be canceled. I said no. We had to serve in this, we had to fight, and some of us died, regardless of the weather. So we're going to honor our dead. Yeah! By the way, I'm Roger Ellis. I'm the commander of the Bettendorf American Legion Post 154, and I'm serving as the Master of Ceremonies. I'd like to introduce our guests. I have Reverend Tom Carver from Asbury United Methodist Church to do the religious duties. Mayor Bob Gallagher. And then John Weiland from the commander of the VFW post. And Dave Woods from the VA.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Oh God, our Heavenly Father, you have blessed us with brave men and women who are willing to defend our freedom. May your protection and grace surround them each day. Let your healing hand be upon those who suffer wounds and injuries. And may those who have made the ultimate sacrifice rest forever in your holy presence. Comfort all those families and others who mourn and are left to remember the precious lives of their loved ones. Help us to honor and support them today. And let us ever be mindful of each sacrifice made on behalf of the American people by our sons and daughters, husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, and friends. We offer this in your gracious and holy name. Amen.
Amen. It is well to remember that Memorial Day originated at the close of the Civil War, and therefore the post of the American Legion should give due recognition to the veterans of earlier wars. This day is sacred with the almost invisible presence of those who have gone before us. We honor the memory of those who gave their lives in service of our country. Again, this Memorial Day, our nation has assembled to honor its heroic dead. 1,000 battles of sea, land, and air echo the glory of their valiant deeds. Under the quiet sod, or beneath the murmuring waves, their bodies sleep in peace. But in the destinies of veterans, their souls go marching on. Because of them, our lives are free. Let us not remember them in anguish. They would not wish our pity. For their sakes, also let us not forget the loved ones left behind. Our tears or words of sympathy cannot bring back the comfort of those loving hands or the music of those voices stilled. Only the solemn pride of having given more than all the rest is theirs who live to weep. But all the world, because of what they gave, is debtor to them. On this Memorial Day, let us pledge ourselves anew to patriotic service. Let us make ourselves the friend and brother, son and father of those who will not see their own against immortal flesh. Let us grasp with fearless hands the flags so nobly borne before, and like those others, plant it always on the battlements of righteousness.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Veterans Memorial Park. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to be with you who have served. I have several friends who remind me that this is not the day to thank them for service. For 364 days a year is fine, but today is for those who didn't come home. And we're here to commemorate those losses on behalf of those families. We have lots of people here from the city of Bettendorf. We have a couple of city councilmen with us, Jerry Sexer, Scott Norman. We have some folks from our park board, Larry Colvin, Tom Drigg. We have some folks that are department heads. I see Jason Schatt and Lauren Haldeman is here. If I missed anybody, I'm raising those names and those who are here just to let you know how important it is for the city to have this wonderful park, for you all to be here today to memorialize the great sons and daughters, wives and husbands, brothers and sisters, fathers and grandfathers like mine, who lost. So, to Congressman Loebsack, thank you for your attempt to be here. I'm sorry that it didn't work out for you, but his staff member, Brian Kramer, is here. And we thank Brian for being here. We thank the Congressman for all he's done for our area and the fact that he was hopeful to make it, but the monsoons, I'm sure, might have kept him away. So thank you for being here. This hearty crowd and a wonderful day and not very, very wonderful weather. So God bless you all and thank you for being here.
All right, well, hey, my Vietnam vets out there, welcome home. You're used to this stuff, come on. Most of the service people, servicemen and women, are used to this stuff. Didn't matter if it was raining, snowing, sleet, cold. Didn't matter. You were doing your duty. You're given a job. You had to do it. Much like all of the soldiers and veterans that we have lost over the years, they were doing their duty. When they went into the service, they wrote that blank check to the government, to us, to keep us free. As the stone behind me says, freedom is not free. We know that. Being on the honor flight board, going out to Arlington every year, you see the 470-some thousand names or tombstones in Arlington. You see all the sacrifices done by our veterans. And it's just not the veterans who have sacrificed. Also think of the family members, the wives, children, parents, right on down the line. So today marks Memorial Day. It's our day to remember our fallen brothers and sisters. Please do that. Take time to think of them. Think of the ones we have throughout our country or overseas who are buried under the Stars and Stripes. They've never come home. It's the time to do it right now.
In quiet services across our country today, we come together as a nation to remember those lost in the clash of battle. The thunder of bombs, the roar of tanks, the rumbling of airplanes flying overhead, and the scream of artillery shells. This Memorial Day, we come together to appreciate the freedom that we enjoy today as we honor the sacrifices that paid for. As we enjoy living in the land of the free and the home of the brave, we must continue to remind Americans that there is no freedom without bravery. And those we honor today were brave when it counted the most. Amid the war-torn decades we've endured, we can take great pride in these heroes. These men and women who believe they were just doing their duty. And it's not about mourning. What it is best about was best expressed by General George S. Patton back in 1944 at a military cemetery in France. Looking out across a field filled with rows of crosses, marking the graves of men who, just days before, had been part of his army, Patton said, "It is foolish and wrong to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men lived." And that is what this very special day is all about. To be thankful that such brave men and women have lived, and to pay tribute to those heroic patriots who bravely rose up and fought for something greater than themselves, protecting a home to which they never returned. They sacrificed everything for the noblest of causes. It is up to you and me to carry their memory forward in an effort to repay a debt that can never truly be repaid.
I'd like to introduce a dear friend of mine, Vietnam Navy veteran. He was also a machinery repairman, first class as I was. They gave me the privilege of working at Bowie machine. And he'd like to make a presentation to the VFW and the American Legion Post.
Thank you, Roger. I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing some more young faces. Unfortunately, I don't see enough young faces. The VFW and American Legion both suffered from some of the same problems. That is, our young people returning from war aren't joining, and we need them. If you know somebody who is returning, talk to them. Have them walk in the front door, and anybody will be glad to talk to them. I want to recognize Dickie Franz, back there somewhere. This board, which includes a copper plaque. The copper plaque was found by Dick in a garage sale or an auction or whatever. He bought it several years ago. And he says, well, I didn't want to throw it away, so he gave it to Roger. and it commemorates the American Legion and Edward Hines Hospital in the Chicago area, which still functions as a VA hospital. My daughter, Carol Bowie, did the research on it and printed up all these nice pages. And a friend of mine from the company, Bowie Machine Company, Sean Clark, he programmed and made those little plaques on the top, the two smaller copper plaques. But I want to thank all the members here for the sacrifices they've made. It's not easy for anybody. So we present this to the VFW 39128 and American Legion 154, and it's from us, and it's a piece of history.
Detail. And hut. Ready. Aim. Ready. Aim.